Hello, here's Sam from the future, and I came here to warn you for mentions of blood, violence, and vomit. Thank you. You can skip this part if that makes any problems.
And go to the next episode if it makes any problems for you.
Yes. Thank you. We love you. Bye.
Bonjour. So, bonjour, and welcome to the podcast Fiction After Lunch. I'm Mindy.
I'm Sam.
And yeah, this is a podcast. This is a podcast where we read fictional works that we wrote. Yes, I finally can do the introduction without messing up, I think.
Yes, so currently in this season, we are finishing a story Mindy wrote when she was 13 years old, and now we're trying to make an original work out of her Invader Zim fanfiction.
Yes, but now it's more like an Invader Jim fanfiction.
Yes.
Because we changed the name from Zim to Tim, and now it's Jim because of gymnasium. So, yes, we will not get away from the three-letter name, I think. And, okay, but today is also a very special episode because maybe you already hear some sounds in the background of people screaming, kind of, and having fun. Because, Sam, where are we?
I don't know how to say that in English. We are at the lake.
Yes.
Yes.
I forced Sam to ride the bicycle with me. And today was the first time when she rode the bicycle for a longer episode of, I think, 2 hours.
I did long bike rides when I was young, but I didn't ride my bike in 6 years since I have my dog, because my dog doesn't want to walk next to the bike. And like she's a huge dog. She's like 30 kilograms, and as soon as she sits down, I fly off my bike. And that's why I don't ride my bike anymore.
Yeah.
But now I did, because Mindy bullied me into
you.
You wouldn't shut up about it, to be honest. You really wanted to make a trip by bike, and
Yes,
I just couldn't say no.
I really wanted to do it. I was like,
Yes.
Sam, get your bike from your parents' house. Let's make a bicycle trip. And she was like, no, I will die. And I was, no. But how did you find our bicycle trip to the lake?
Exhausting. Yes, so first I couldn't put in the right gang.
I also don't know the English word. What is it?
So there are numbers at the bike at the front, and depending
Gear.
on the gear.
Gear, I think it's gear.
Gear. Oh my god. In case it is not gear, it's the numbers in front of the bike that make the bike go easy or go hard.
That's the most basic explanation of gear I ever heard.
Yeah,
But it works.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So this was very hard actually to get the correct one, because for some gear levels or something your bike was making very weird noises, and we thought that it would fall apart. Actually, It did fall apart.
Yes, it did fall apart, but not in the places I expected.
Yes. Oh shit, there are people. Oh no. What should we do? And
They are not
yes,
noticing
I will just hide behind this tree, because actually right now we are sitting at the lake, but in the
Furthest corner away from the lake, and
yes, and away from people, and we are not looking at the lake, we are looking into the corner.
yes, we are looking at the tree.
Yes, we are looking
And behind us there are people sunbathing, and there are people playing volleyball. And I just noticed behind the fence there's a street, and some people walk there sometimes, apparently.
Yes.
But that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
we can work with it. We already did an episode out in the botanical garden, and there were also like people coming very near to us.
Yes.
Like the two guys that were talking there behind the stone 10 meters away from us, which was already quite interesting. Maybe we can make also new listeners by this method. Just go there and like record with our new listeners. And yeah, now we arrived here at the lake. When we arrived here, it was really... Wait, okay. There was just a weird insect on your sleeve.
Yeah.
When we arrived, we were really exhausted. We estimated we need 1 hour, but we needed 3 hours or 2 hours in total to get here.
Well, you picked me up at 11 and we arrived at 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 3 hours.
Yeah.
But also my bicycle, how's it called? My bicycle also broke.
One of the tires lost air, and my bicycle also broke apart later. One piece fell off my bicycle. Let's leave it at that.
So the piece that normally protects yourself from all of the water when it's raining.
Yeah, at the front tire there's a metallic
thingy.
Metallic water protecting thingy. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it fell off.
In general, we arrived at the lake, but we will never get away here anymore.
Yeah.
What is he doing? Oh no, there's now a car coming inside.
No, not inside.
Not inside, but... Let's take a break here. Okay, but apart from this, yes, we arrived here and the first thing that we did was eating something. So we did eat lunch today. So Sam, what did we eat?
I made sandwiches with cheese and with tomatoes and cucumbers from our garden. And we had melon.
I like that we are both thinking of the same.
Because it was my favorite thing. And we had cherries and raspberries, I think they're called.
Yes.
And noodle salad. Yes, I had 1 noodle. No, I was pretty full. And crackers and gummy bears and...
We had a lot of very tasty stuff, and we still have some. So after the episode, I think I will go for a swim again, because I went for swimming a little bit, which was really nice because the water has body temperature kind of. And also the nice thing of this lake is that before you go into the lake, you're showering before. Yeah. And also when you come out of the lake, normally you take a shower. So the lake itself is so clean. It's amazing. And also Sam already said, next time I will also get my bikini and go into the water maybe.
No, I will not.
No, you will not?
No, I will not. I just
So you just
decided
changed your mind now?
Yes, I changed my mind now. Because I don't even own one. I just remembered. And I'm not going to buy one.
Okay. Yeah, maybe just with your feet then.
Maybe my feet.
And build a sand castle.
Yes.
Okay, and do you think it's fine with the people working there?
Yeah, the noises are not nice on the audio, aren't they? Maybe we should go into another corner.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we will go somewhere else.
Yes.
Hello, and welcome back. After we couldn't find another quiet place to record our episode in, we took a nap.
Yes. It was a very nice nap.
Yeah. Mindy went swimming again.
Yeah, I mean, I was taking a nap after we tried to do our recording, and then I was like, I should go swimming once more, but I was very lazy and everything, so yeah, but I took a swim, then I came back, took another nap.
Yes. Meanwhile, I continued to take a nap, and then we drove home, and now it's the next day. Everything hurts, everything is pain. I looked it up, it was 28 kilometers we drove that day, which is a lot, and I think it's even more because you really wanted to go to this one place, and then we took another route which was even longer. And
no, actually the other one that we took was 2 hours less, 1 hour less.
What?
We drove to the place 3 hours in total, because also on the halfway to the place we needed to go back again because my bike broke. You heard us yesterday. Yeah, it's the day afterwards, and therefore we had more time to drive. And on the way back we only needed 2 hours actually. I think you needed a little bit more actually, because you're living more away.
Yes, and also I refuse to go on my bike again.
Oh no! You walked home?
I walked home after we parted our ways. Yeah.
Okay, that's very long then, I think.
Yes.
If you just walk all of the way, I think at least half an hour or 45 minutes, isn't it?
It was longer than half an hour, but I really couldn't sit on my bike anymore. My hands were shaking, my other parts were hurting, and my legs were hurting, and I couldn't do this anymore.
Yeah, I can understand, but okay. For me it was fine. I was just like, after you went the other way, I was like driving really fast home. I was like, I just want to get home. I want to eat something. I'm hungry. I want to lie in my bed. And actually when I came home, I was really just like, actually throwing all of my stuff just in the corner.
Yeah.
And maybe just took the food out that have been leftovers and put them into the fridge. But I think I just took a shower and then went into my bed. Yeah. Because I couldn't move anymore.
Yes, I took a shower as well. And then I noticed I can't sit down because I can't stand up again because my legs were hurting too much. And so I had to eat dinner standing because I was hungry. We didn't eat a lot.
Yeah.
We had food with us, but we didn't eat it.
I think we did eat it. Like we did eat your sandwiches. Like I ate cherries, apples.
You didn't eat an apple.
I didn't eat an apple, but you ate apples.
I ate 1/4 of an apple.
1/4. Oh wait.
Oh, careful sounds.
Sorry. There was a cable that was tickling my leg and it was a little bit annoying because I always needed to scratch myself.
Yeah, and I'm still in pain. So
that's perfect. Happy Lucky Podcast as we already established.
Yes, Happy Lucky Podcast.
And yeah, if we want to continue doing this Happy Lucky Podcast, I can tell you about the exams that I failed on Monday. No, on Tuesday.
Do you really want to share this online?
It's okay.
Okay.
Everyone fails an exam, and after I failed the exam, I was so frustrated and everything that I just edited a podcast episode. I took 3 hours editing a podcast episode, and I also wrote the next chapter. So yeah, maybe in the chapter itself, maybe the content itself is not too Happy Lucky Podcast like. But therefore I'm very curious about what Sam will think about it, because I also took a lot of effort in writing it. And yeah.
I'm very curious as to what will happen. And
all the characters died. And end of story, I don't want to continue anymore.
Be assured, dear reader, every time I continue a story from a friend, I make it happy again. It will not stay sad in case it's really sad now, which I hope is not the case.
Okay, it's not so bad, I would say. It's more mini Mindy.
Okay, now I will see what happens.
Okay, but first of all, we need to talk about our second lunch that we had today.
We had lunch again.
We had lunch again because it's the next day. This is a weird episode, like with 2 parts.
We give you a second lunch for the time we didn't give you lunch. We had gnocchi. That's how you pronounce it. Don't listen to Mindy.
I think I always say gnocchi.
Yes.
And this is wrong.
I think the Italians say gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
Yeah. And we made a tomato sauce from
the tomatoes from your garden.
Yes. Not Mindy's tomatoes. Mindy's tomatoes are dead.
Yes. As usual, my plants are dead. But apart from this, we also had a salad.
Yes.
With not salad from your garden, but from my fridge. But 2 cucumbers from your garden again. And self-made lemonade that I did. And one chocolate... Praline. Okay, so I think we talked enough about food.
Yes.
And
ourselves.
The podcast is about the fiction, so we should continue in reading the next chapter.
Who reads what?
You read the title.
Okay. Chapter 13, Mister Blobby. So this chapter will be about the octopus.
Yes, actually, you did send me the, how's it called, your chapter?
Yes.
But actually I think it was not complete because I was trying to find the name that you gave Mister Blobby, the correct name.
Georgie was his.
Georgie, okay. Because now I just used Mister Blobby because I couldn't find Georgie again, so I'm very sorry because I wanted to use Georgie. who is now called Mister Blobby or something.
It's okay. I think in the last episode, or maybe afterwards, I don't know, we said that it's Georgie Blobby. It's the full name.
Mr. Georgie Blobby.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Georgie Blobby, but short Mr. Blobby.
Yeah.
Okay. Sen wavered and his vision became blurred with every step he took backwards. Because of all the adrenaline, he hadn't noticed that he sustained several deep wounds in different places on his body as he stepped through the broken window. His blood oozed from his wounds that stretched down his arms and stomach.
Okay. I mean, okay, first of all, since for the audio listeners, his vision became blurred and he had several deep wounds.
Wounds.
Yes.
Okay. The chapter starts good, right? And
yes, I can feel your anger.
Feel the blood and anger. And maybe we should also mention, like, in the last episode, this is the moment, I think, when was it? The Sen and Paula went into the house of Lisa's father.
Yeah.
And then they went into his laboratory. Yes. But I think I forgot everything that happened in between. I remember that you wrote something that Sen is like having a blurred vision or something.
Okay.
That was the last thing. And this is the part where I'm continuing.
Okay.
So Paula and the father were deeply engrossed in a conversation about the fish ice cream that Paula had prepared, and the father patted Paula's head, which she was visibly enjoying. They hadn't noticed Sen's wavering.
I am not allowed to die. I still have a job to do, no matter what the cost. But how can I stop the bleeding?
Who do you think is saying this?
Zen, because he is very injured.
Yes.
Yes.
And no one else has realized it, so yes.
Okay.
He looked around, but his poor vision made it more and more difficult. In the distance, behind the octopus vessel, he saw a first aid kit hanging on the wall. That could be his salvation. However, he had to go behind the octopus vessel for this, while Mr. Blobby looked at him with wide and greedy eyes. Mr. Blobby is very
hungry.
Yes. This gave Sen a cold chill behind his back, but he forced himself with heavy steps behind the octopus vessel without ever taking his eyes off Mr. Blobby.
The name just makes me
Mr. Blobby. Mr. Blobby is looking at me with greedy eyes and gave him a cold chill. Do you also say this in English? Like, give him a cold chill behind his back? Like,
let a chill run down his spine, I think they say.
So it's the same like expression that we also use?
Yeah, a similar one.
Okay, do you think he will manage to get the first aid kit?
No, I think the octopus will break the vessel.
Oh, okay.
I think it's supposed to be a glass tank. I'm not sure if vessel is the right word. But he will break out of his prison and attack Zen.
Okay, let's see what will happen.
Okay.
Due to the fact that he had not averted his gaze from Mr. Blobby, he also did not see the large puddle.
Probably water?
That seemed to be dripping from the vessel. As luck would have it, Sen flipped on the puddle. No, slipped? What? Flipped? He's just making a backflip. Sen slipped on the puddle and knocked over the vessel. Mr. Blobby! Which fell on him and broke.
Physics? Does this work? Can you push down a vessel and then it falls onto you?
Yeah. Like
if you high.
Yeah, it's like in my imagination, actually, the vessel is standing on a table, and like because we are in a kitchen.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just in my imagination, and he's slipping on the puddle, and then he's like, taking the vessel with him, and then he's like falling with the vessel, very unfortunately.
Okay.
Yes. Sen was lying face down on the floor, completely soaked, and Mr. Blobby was sitting on top of him.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe they will just cuddle.
Yes.
Maybe Mr. Blobby just wants to have some love.
Yeah, let's start shipping Zen and Mr. Blobby.
Okay. Right. I hope that you will continue shipping Zen in the next sentence.
Oh no.
Now the doctor and Paula notice the situation.
Finally!
And turned to Zen. What they saw shocked them deeply. Mr. Blobby seemed unimpressed by his destroyed vessel and wrapped his slippery arms around Zen's body, which now appeared to be unconscious.
Okay.
What do you think will happen? No comment.
I think Zen will die.
Dum dum dum.
Dum dum dum.
Mr. Blobby's eyes looked at Zen even more greedily, and he looked very hungry. He opened his mouth unrealistically wide, and very sharp teeth, like those of a shark, could be seen. This wasn't a normal octopus.
Yeah, it's a magical one. I wrote that. Note, during the time of the war, the Doctor took part in some secret military experiments with the...
Do you remember the last time?
Yes, I remember. This was your wish.
This was my wish. And
yeah,
I wanted to include this wish.
Yeah. So it was a secret military experiments with the Italian people. Mr. Blobby was born, but this is a different story.
Yeah, I really wanted to introduce them.
Italy now canonically exists in this universe of the story.
Yes, there's only Italy and, I don't know, this country.
Where does this even take place?
That's a good question that we need to come up with in future, maybe in America.
Maybe in Italy.
Maybe in Italy. Okay. Like in future we just need to give everyone an Italian voice.
Oh, no.
No? Paula happily wanted to run to Mr. Blobby to offer him a new fish dish, which she had gotten from her backpack in the meantime. However, the doctor pulled Paula by the arm to an emergency counter that was hanging on the wall at the entrance to the kitchen, in italics. To the, kitchen.
Mindy is making air quotes, everyone.
I don't know how to say this, to the kitchen. It's not the kitchen, but it's introduced as a kitchen. So, what should I say? He literally hit the switch, and there was a wet, flashing light all over the room, and a transparent wall came out of the floor and separated the doctor and Paula from Mr. Blobby and Zen.
Okay.
That's like this typical trope of having this secret laboratory, and then if something bad happens you can just let transparent walls or anything come up so that you are separated from your experiments. If something goes wrong, you're safe. Kind of.
Yes, safety procedures.
Yes. Paula wanted to ask what was going on, but she recognized the serious and desperate expression on the doctor's face and followed his gaze. What they saw was... ... So now we have a scene change.
Okay.
maybe they're really only cuddling, so who knows?
So I can decide if Mr. Blobby will eat Zen. Yes, I can. Okay, great. Okay.
Let's continue reading. Maybe you will see what happens. Mindy and Jim heard Paula scream unnaturally from inside the house, as did the emergency alarm.
It's an emergency alarm.
Yes, this was a mistake for me. As did the emergency alarm and a plane that was just passing by in the sky.
Thank you, Mindy.
Yeah, this is the first plane, by the way.
Okay.
Jim turned to Mindy and said, worried,
"Sorry, but that will have to wait, Mindy."
Because Mindy wanted to tell him something very important.
Ah, yes, I remember.
Yes. I know I just gave it back to you at some point. Mindy hesitated briefly, but understood the seriousness of the situation and agreed with Jim. Everywhere is emergency alarms, there are people screaming.
No, you didn't write anyone screaming, did you?
Paula
Did
screamed.
Paula scream?
Yes.
Ah, Paula screamed.
Mindy and Jim heard Paula scream and an emergency alarm and a plane. There's a lot of
things happening. Okay.
Things happening. And yes, they both went into the interior of the house. When they got to the kitchen, both of them felt sick immediately. They stood behind a glass wall and saw an octopus inside the room with huge teeth and greedy, unnaturally human-looking eyes. He was holding one arm with one of his 8 tentacles. only an arm.
Oh my god!
Maybe I should put a warning here.
Yes.
Yes? So, what is your imagination?
Maybe Zen has a fake arm and it just fell off when he escaped into freedom. No, I mean, some people, when they lost their arm, in the war, for example, they get fake arms.
Ah, you mean this?
What are they called? Prothesen.
Same? Yeah, the fake arm. Let's stick with it. Maybe.
Yes, but in a positive way, right?
Yes. So
that's the German in us. We're sorry about that.
And yes, also some people, when they especially lose their legs or anything in the war, and then they can get it to walk again. And some also use it like for sports. Like some are really, really good of these fake legs and arms and all of this kind of stuff. But so this is your prediction.
This is my prediction. This was a fake arm, and they're like, oh, I didn't know Zen had a fake arm, and then they all laugh and
everyone is hugging each other. Also, the octopus is hugging everyone with his 8 tentacles.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's see if it turns out like this. Zen lay half unconscious on the floor and tried to grab a device that was a bit away from him and looked like a plain remote control with a controller.
What? Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, maybe like he was unconscious before, now he's only half unconscious.
Yes.
So he woke up in like the process of losing his fake arm, maybe?
Yes.
I would wake up if I would lose my fake arm.
Not necessarily.
I think it's connected to your nerves at some point, isn't it? So that you can control?
Yes, but it depends on the pain, because you can get unconscious from losing an arm. On the other hand, don't you?
True.
If some doctors are listening, please write us an email.
To fictionafterlunch@gmail.com.
Yes.
And do you know why I put the yay there?
Yes, because of the plane.
Yay! I was very proud of myself. I was like, oh yeah, it's a plane remote control. Why do you think he's trying to catch like a remote control? Do you have any guess? Maybe it's opening the glass walls or anything?
I don't think it's opening the glass walls, because it wouldn't fit well with the safety thing. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a controller, more like a laser pointer.
He wants to kill the octopus with a laser pointer.
Maybe blind him at least.
Okay, that's true, yeah.
You know how laser pointers work.
Yes, that's actually, and if the octopus has like human-looking eyes, maybe this would work. Okay, so you think this is like his weapon to fight against the octopus?
Or maybe he just wants to throw something.
That's also a case. Okay. Yeah. He had only one arm left and an unnaturally shaped rectangular hole on his hip.
What? Oh my god!
But I want you to have this in mind, like an unnaturally shaped rectangular hole on his hip. So he has like his hip, and there's like a square hole
missing,
which is not naturally.
Yes, because it would be pretty hard to make a rectangular hole into a human. So
what do you think? Where does this come from, or why he has it?
In my head, I'm like, maybe he's disappearing, like see-through thingy.
Wait,
what's it called in English?
Ghost, or
yes, like a ghost a bit. So the part is still there, but you can't see it because he was hit with something.
No, it's like a real hole.
Okay, no, okay.
Okay.
Blood splattering everywhere.
Maybe. Zen seemed to be steaming as if hot water had been poured over him. Sam is just like, what is happening? This is everything too weird for me.
This is very violent. I can see that you were not in a good mood when you wrote this.
No, I was not in a good mood. But I'm just giving a lot of hints at what...
Yeah, don't spoiler.
I will not spoiler anything. Mr. Blobby was chewing on his arm during that time and seemed very satisfied, while blood was running down Blobby's chin. And there was my question, do octopus have chin? Like, do they have a real mouth even? He's not a real octopus, so...
He's a magical octopus, maybe he has a human head.
Human head?
What? Maybe he has a human head and 8 arms.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this would... He's like... Oh my god.
I just made this worse.
This is very creepy now. So Blobby, Mister Blobby, therefore he's also called Mister Blobby.
Yes.
Because maybe Georgie was a human before. This human is maybe an Italian person. He was in an experiment with the doctor. And now they tried to combine octopus with human and took the human head and octopus body. That's my goal.
Okay.
That's very creepy actually.
Oh no.
Oh no, what kind of experiments are they doing? Mandy felt sick at the sight and vomited.
Also a warning in front of that. Maybe we have to put a lot of warnings at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, I think you should just write in the chapter description itself, warning, violent.
Yeah.
Don't read this part.
Yeah, also for vomiting we have to put warning. Some people are very not good with it.
Okay. Jim had a similar feeling in his stomach. But the strange pain in his chest and his determination to save Zen was too big to throw up.
I thought there were enemies, Zen and Jim.
Yes, but it's more like, okay, there are enemies, but maybe you can compare it to like having an enemy in school. Like you wouldn't like to have this person to die, or depending on the person. But okay, but I also want you to emphasize that he has a strange pain in his chest.
Okay.
And maybe with this he has a determination to save Zen. But okay, there will be coming hints later, so just assume that he doesn't want Zen to die, even if they don't like each other.
Okay.
Jim's spider legs came out of his pack and shot a laser at the glass wall, making a hole. Here we have a laser. Physics. But Jim is an alien, so...
Yes.
And okay, spider legs coming out of his backpack, so...
Yes.
Not naturally, so he can also make a hole in the glass wall. He quickly climbed through the hole and went between Mr. Blobby and Zen. Zen saw Jim only regularly, but he knew immediately that it was Jim. He could literally feel his presence, as if there was an inner connection between the two.
I'm just making faces right now.
Sam is just like, no, what? What is the relationship between Sam and Jim? Like,
what is happening?
What is happening?
So he could only see him vaguely.
Mm-hmm.
And why is the connection? Maybe because they are both aliens. That's my prediction.
Dum. Let's see, okay. Jim grabbed the plane remote and gave it to Zen. Very nice of him. Because Zen was trying to grab the remote control all the time. The plane remote control. And Jim is just giving it to him.
Okay.
So he maybe he knows what the remote control is doing.
Okay.
I see a lot of question marks over your head. But that was my goal also, so...
Okay.
I want you to guess and question.
The latter accepted it disgustedly.
And said as he stuck the remote control into the hole in his hip...
What? I didn't see that coming. I'm sorry, I didn't see
It's a rectangular hole, so... And when your remote control is normally rectangular? Sam is like... I don't know. I just would like to take another bicycle drive.
No, I would like to take a nap.
Yeah, maybe afterwards you can do a nap on the sofa and try to try to understand what we just read.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't need any help from you.
Jim said, amused.
Of course not. So you can just let me do the rest of the work.
Zen said with wavering energy. With losing energy, I think it's better.
What did you say in German? Do you remember?
With schwankender.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's losing energy.
It's correct. Wavering.
Okay, wavering energy.
You don't make any sense. I hate that about you, you traitor. Zen is definitely an alien.
Very good, very good.
Okay.
Yes, Zen is an alien.
Yeah, okay.
With that said, Zen turned the control on the remote control. Okay. turned the switch on the remote control to the fullest possible level, and it seemed as if electricity was running through his body. So much did it tremble, his body.
Yeah.
The shaking stopped after a few seconds, and Zen stopped moving. Jim looked shortly at Zen and yelled at the hole in the glass wall.
Paula, get Zen out of here and hand him the doctor. You will also get a reward.
Paula stood excitedly in front of the hole and yelled back.
I like rewards! What reward?
Jim turned to Mister Blobby, who had eaten up Zen's arm and was now looking at Jim with greedy and psychopathic look.
Mindy, you really like the word greedy.
Yes, but I just wanted to emphasize I also took another word here, and psychopathic look, so it changed.
Yes.
Jim said with a grin,
maybe you can get octopus ice cream today.
End of chapter, actually.
Oh, God.
Yes, it's not a long chapter, but a lot of stuff
A very violent one.
Yes.
Oh, I need to sit in front of the microphone, sorry.
But I think it's very good that you figured out that Zen is an alien. I was trying to put as much, as...
You hinted at it before. I think you wanted from the start that Zen is an alien.
Yes, because he did a lot of stuff that was, not naturally or not human-like. Because he was eating sausage with ice cream, he wears sunglasses in a big hall and something... Stuff that normal people normally don't do. So at first maybe you just assumed he's just a weird... we also said that he's a girl, but then
Then we changed pronouns.
Then we changed all to the... pronouns. So he's not a girl and also not a man, because aliens here don't have really a gender. Therefore I also wanted to emphasize a little bit like this, just to change the pronoun also.
Okay.
And because he can wear man stuff and also girly stuff, and he maybe looks like a man or a girl. So he has a genderless face, you can say. And also with all of the hints that I gave you with, which one? The remote control that he has. This is something that you still maybe need to figure out what it's doing. Because he has it as his hip and something, and he really wanted to get it. What is your...
Maybe it stops the bleeding from the arm.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's something similar to the pegs that Jim has. And... also the thing with that he is steaming his body. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember. But unfortunately, I remember.
But this one didn't came from hot water, because there was no hot water. So it was just water on his body. But do you remember all of the scenes when Jim was sprayed on with Coke by Lucy, for example, and he was it's burning and everything. Therefore, this is also a hint that Zen is an alien, because he's like, oh, water, it's burning me, and...
Okay.
Yes. That's my explanation.
Okay.
And Sam is just looking on my wall and just okay, I just want to get it over with me now.
I'm looking at the wall.
At the wall.
And... where do I go with this from here?
I left it with a fight, you can say. You still have also the other two
yes, I still have Claire and Kay. And who else?
Oh, yeah. I connected all to...
Yes.
So you have only Claire and Kay. Maybe you can continue there. Or you can continue with the fight. Who knows?
I don't know yet. And I'm not going to tell you. What is your wish?
Yeah, okay, wait. What wish do I want? Introduce God.
What?
Because I was just sitting here praying, kind of, and thinking. I was okay, somehow bring God and religion into this.
Into this mess of a story.
Yes. Maybe in one sentence or something. I also introduced yours by just telling them in one sentence or something. You can just say, oh my God.
Okay.
Or maybe also, this religion.
Yeah, I need to... Since people are actually listening to this, we need to try and not get problematic, I think.
Yes.
let's not put too much religion into this. Let's not.
You can make up your own religion.
Let's not make the Italians angry. There's a reason that no Italians are listening to us, as you can see on the thingy on the map you showed me.
Yes.
We have a diagram where we can see where everyone is coming from, which is really
cool. Because we have hello. We have I don't know how many people, but we have some from Norway actually, which was really nice.
Yes.
Because
hello to Norway.
Hello to Norway, and we have people. I think a lot of people actually from England itself.
Yes, a lot of people from England. Hello to England.
Hello to England. And we just say hello to all of the countries. I can look.
Most of the people are from America.
America it was?
Yes, hello to America.
Hello.
One person is from Slovakia. Hello to Slovakia.
Hello to Slovakia. And people from Greece we also have.
Yeah, Colombia and Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. Which we have to look up because we haven't heard of it before. Hello to you too.
Yes. And yeah, so hello to everyone who's listening. Like, I'm still very confused when even one person is listening to us because I don't understand why you're listening. Actually, we are a happy lucky podcast, but we are really talking about not so happy stuff sometimes.
Yes, we are offending all the Italians.
Yeah, we are offending people. We are...
Please don't take it personally. This is not meant in a negative way. Yeah.
Anyone. We just want to have fun in general.
Yes.
Yes.
Leave this in.
Okay.
Yes. I know. It's a bit. What's it called? It doesn't sound so happy when we say this, but please don't get offended because of the language barrier and.
Yeah. Normally Germans sound very. Like harsh at some point and very direct. I think it's the problem that we are very direct and we are just saying stuff out loud and don't try to like say it in a very positive way. I try to say it in a positive way. And I think it's also a physicist thing to talk like that. Not even necessarily a German thing. Yeah, some Germans are more like not harsh. Yes. But we are like, okay, you have studied physics for a little bit and... For 2 years. 2 years of my life. 2 years. And it's our personalities. So don't get offended. We don't mean to offend anyone. And we just want to make friends kind of and to make you laugh. Yes, and you're happy at some point, have a good day. Spread happiness, and if something is really bothering you, don't hesitate to write an email to me. Yes. I won't show it to Mindy so she won't get sad, but if something is bothering you, please let us know. Yeah, and maybe we can now introduce our social media where you can get in contact with us. This is the perfect moment. Email is fictionafterlunch@gmail.com if you want to write complaints, praise or anything, or you just want to get in contact with us, or say, if you have an idea for a next chapter, if you have a wish, like why not? Yes, if you have any wish, you can just write us on any social media and we will try to include it in the following chapters. Yes. Because we are normally producing the chapters a little bit like earlier, so it's normally like we produce it now and then next week it will be published. It's more like we produce it now, today, and it will be published in maybe 2 or 3 months. Yeah. So, because then I can assure that every 2 weeks there's an episode coming up. Yes. And organizing issues. Yes. Some podcasts can manage to do it like actually weekly or every 2 weeks, and I don't know, I just don't have the time to do it so regularly. We have to work, we have to study. Yes, you know. And do you want to introduce our other social media? Yes, we are on Tumblr. You can find us at Fiction After Lunch podcast on Tumblr. And Instagram is also Fiction After Lunch. And Twitter, on the other hand, I was just waiting for Twitter. Is Fiction and Lunch. Because they don't give me enough letters. I love it. Yes. Thank you for listening. We have a YouTube channel. We also have a YouTube channel. Still, thank you for listening so far. We also have a YouTube channel, and so far we have 3 videos up. Videos. And I'm working currently on the next one.
but it took a bit of time because I was also having exams. One, for example, is the tomato story, which is really nice. The channel is called Fiction After Lunch.
Yeah, you can easily find us everywhere, kind of. We also have a link tree, so if you have this one, you can just find us everywhere at some point.
Yes, actually, in this description of this podcast, you can find all the links.
Yes. Yeah, I think that was everything for this episode, actually. So thank you for listening. We know all of the wishes. And yeah, 3, 2, 1.
Don't get eaten by an octopus! Bye!